Assalamu alaikum. I am Nicolette Hodge, an angel warrior standing with and representing Master Suleiman, the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, and the self-taught one. Master Suleiman is the same as the Son of Man. He has revealed the angel. He has broken the seven seals of the angel, which is our God mind. It is our memory. It is our consciousness. We are mathematical beings. We speak in mathematical parables and riddles. Okay, the scriptures is written for us, by us. Master Suleiman has mastered all 22 chapters of Revelations. He is giving us a play-by-play of what's going to happen before it happens. And not only that, he has taught us how to understand the scriptures for ourselves. By uploading the angel, which is our God mind, we now have the ability to see what's going to happen before it happens. We have foresight. So he is making us into prophets and prophetess. All right, so before we get into today's presentation, we're going to look at and expose and reflect on what these devils have put us through. The Holocaust is our complete, total experience being under the rulership of these devils. The Holocaust is the reason that the world is in chaos right now. They are receiving their judgment for what they have done to us. What they did to us was unjustified. It's not slavery. It's not a critical race theory. Slavery is capitalism. Maximum profit, minimum overhead. We're going through that right now. We were in agricultural slavery. Now we are in industrial slavery. The Holocaust is their actions against us. They dehumanized us. They beat us. They raped us and forced us to carry their devil seed. We are now plagued with the demons. Devils in black skin. Tar babies. House Negroes. They sodomized our brothers. Stripped them of all dignity and masculinity. That's not slavery. They ate our flesh. Understand that Jeffrey Dahmer, this story that you're looking at, is a drop in the bucket compared to what these devils have always been doing to us. You don't even know where barbecue comes from. They burnt us in pits, boiled us alive, ate our flesh. They would whip us to our bone and pour salt and hot peppers on our wounds. This is part of their seasoning rituals. They would pour boiling hot brine on us, which is cattle bones. And this is their broth that they was using to season us. So sick, twisted, and sadistic. Cannibalism was one of the main forms of torture. Understand that we were terrorized from the moment of conception until the day that we died, and our lifespan was only 21 to 22 years of age. They were wearing us down completely. We were we were in constant pain and agony. They used us as science experiments where they would cut our bodies open and watch our organs function. They practiced C-sections. That's how they were able to perfect this medical procedure right now. They were cutting our babies right out of our wombs and sewing us up with barbed wire. And all kinds of infections from them using rusty knives to cut us in their dirty hands. No anesthesia, no painkillers whatsoever. They shoved dirt and grass and leaves up into our wombs when we were on our periods. The devil women got to have the rags and the cloths to keep themselves clean. They force-fed us shit, which now you willingly go and buy shitlins. They fed us human and animal waste. They didn't have to do that. If they didn't have the money to feed us, we could have just been eating plants. They purposely pushed us to the edge. They know that what they did was so foul and filthy and evil and sadistic, they cannot stand to look at themselves in the mirror, which is too bad for them because the mirror is about to be placed in their face here in a couple of days when false Israel gets destroyed and it is revealed that we are the true seed of Abraham. This is not slavery. The Holocaust is our full experience under the rulership of these devils for nearly 500 years. And us sisters, we had to do the unthinkable. We had to carry this nation on our backs. We had to keep the original nation afloat. And we did that by sneaking and procreating with our original man, sneaking and nourishing our babies. We're not allowed to feed our children. We were not allowed to be with our original man. Massa's goal was to completely wipe out the original seed and replace us with this hybrid race of demons, devils in black skin. They have tried every way to completely rob us of our reward. Massa's goal was for all of us to be demons. We had to work overtime to ensure that we could keep our original nation afloat. And the evidence is right here before your eyes, brothers and sisters. 34 million blacks in America. 17 million of us are original. 17 million are demons. Massa's goal was for everyone on the plantation to be demons. Wiping out the original seed, making sure that we didn't have no one of us left to claim our reward for going through the Holocaust. Okay, because the Abrahamic covenant states that we would be strangers in a land that is not ours, undergoing enslavement and affliction. That's two different things. That's slavery and the Holocaust for 400 years. And afterwards, we would come out with great substance. We would go to our fathers in peace. We would go to our land in between the great river Egypt and the river Euphrates, which is Arabia. These devils have worked overtime to make sure we don't even understand that we have a reward. They tried to wipe out our original seed so that there was no one left to step up and take our rightful place at the top of civilization, in our home, the best part of the planet. They put their chief demon in place, Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, NOI backwards, that's what Legion stands for, in the NOI. And completely diminished all of the teachings, turned the temples into mosques, put our brothers down on their hands and knees, have them praying 5 times a day while pimping the sisters out, selling final calls and whatever else they could do to get money for Farrakhan. Meanwhile, Farrakhan has those in the NOI worshiping the golden calf, which the House of Saud has renamed our land Saudi Arabia. And all of this is the devil's tactic to keep us away from our reward. The demons are put in place specifically to keep us in check, to keep us programmed to self-destruct without asking any questions, to keep us in a gravitational vortex, to keep us worshiping this religion, to keep us buying into the American dream, our retirement and 401k, and climbing this ladder of a damn nightmare. The Holocaust time frame ended in 2019. That's why 2020 came in with a plague. America's judgment has already started. All the European nations have already experienced their judgment since 2020. There's no getting out of it. So all this they're trying to sweep under the rug and whitewash our history, thinking that we will forget. We have not forgotten. The God of consequence has not forgotten. Their judgment started right on time. The 400-year time period was from 1619 to 2019. The Holocaust is our complete experience. And for all that they put us through for nearly 500 years, they will receive the full Holocaust in 1 year. They ate us. They beat, raped, sodomized, tortured us, our babies, our men. They force-fed us feces. They will be forced to eat each other's feces. They will be forced to drink each other's urine and blood. They will go through everything they did to us times 500. They have no discipline. They are weak and wicked by nature. And so this 1 year of the Holocaust that's about to come down on them is going to completely crush them. It's too much pressure for them. Too intense. And this is their reward for putting us through the Holocaust. Brothers and sisters, welcome. Today we're going to be speaking about the chief demon, Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds. I-O-N stands for the N-O-Y backwards. Legion is an acronym. Farrakhan's birth name is Louis Eugene Grounds. He has turned the N-O-Y backwards. He has completely diminished all the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as given by our God, Master Farrakhan Muhammad. And he's turned the N-O-Y into a laughingstock. He has brought devils into the N-O-Y. He has completely dissolved and defecated on all of our hard work. $80 million worth of assets. We had everything we needed. We didn't want anything from these devils. And let me back up a little bit. Master Farrakhan Muhammad came in the 1930s. He raised our messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. From 1930s until 1975, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that we are the seed of Abraham. We are going home to Arabia, our holy city, Mecca. And the messenger taught complete and total separation. Now, when the messenger came in the 1930s, America was segregated. And as the messenger is teaching that we're the true seed of Abraham, all of a sudden they put false Israel into place. America and Britain worked together to establish false Israel. This is the same year that the Christ was conceived. The Christ, Master Suleiman, was conceived in 1948. The Antichrist, false Israel, was conceived at the same time. Then the 1960s come along. Now all of a sudden, America, with their counterintelligence program, they're putting integration into place. They got all these different demon organizations, NAACP and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, all demons. The demons are on the front, and the false Jews are behind it, funding all of these programs. This was to completely counter the truth of what Elijah Muhammad was teaching about us being the seed of Abraham and us going back home. with us being separated from the devils and us having our own, this made it easier for us to start returning knowledge of self. The messenger was in the process of waking up the original brothers and sisters within the Nation of Islam. We know that the Nation of Islam is filled with demons. There are a few Levites, the original brothers and sisters in the NOI, that were not put to sleep as hard as the tribe of Shabazz. And the Levites were to be a guard and a guide for the tribe of Shabazz. And the Levites were to be a bridge from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to Master Suleiman. The messenger told us that there would be one to come after him, and the one to come after him would be God himself. Now, Farrakhan was Elijah's mouthpiece. Elijah had concerns that he wasn't an eloquent speaker, and so he insisted on having this mouthpiece. He chose Farrakhan. Farrakhan pretended to be in agreement with the teachings. He pretended to be in agreement with the supreme lessons. He pretended to be a Muslim. He pretended to be our brother. All of that is a lie. He is a demon. His father is a devil, Percival Clark. Farrakhan is a false Jew in black skin. Again, the demons are put into place to keep us in check, to keep us programmed to self-destruct without asking any questions. Farrakhan being put in place in the NOI was part of these devils' counterintelligence program, FBI counterintelligence program, in which everything that we stood for in the NOI would be dismantled. These devils did not like us clearly defining who they are, which is the skunk of the planet Earth. They are made weak and wicked by nature. They did not like us calling them devils, which is the truth. And Farrakhan is a wolf in sheep clothing. Understand that Farrakhan is looking for the love and acceptance of his swine daddies. That's the case with all of these demons. The house Negroes, Massa's seed. Massa raped us original woman nonstop, and Massa refused to take care of his children. They are the epitome. They are what the term deadbeat dad comes from. And so these deadbeat devil dads didn't want to have anything to do with their children that they forced upon us. And so that puts the demons in a position where they are fighting hard for Massa's love and acceptance and affection and approval. And they will go to any length to receive that acceptance. As far as the demons see it, the more stronger and harder they come at us, the more favor they gain with Massa, they swine daddies. Understand that we don't care about Farrakhan wanting to be close to his swine daddy. The issue comes in where he's manipulating you, brothers and sisters, into thinking that that's what you want too. Farrakhan's saying that we're not going anywhere. The Abrahamic covenant clearly states that we're going home in between the river of Euphrates and the river of Egypt. Now they call it the Nile River. They switch up these names to confuse you. Go look at a map. Look in between these two rivers, and you're going to see our land, Arabia. This is clearly stated in the Abrahamic covenant. Farrakhan refuses to read the fullness of the covenant. The covenant is our contract that we made with Allah before we underwent this time period of going through the Holocaust. Understand that the Abrahamic covenant is our reward for going through this terrorization, dehumanization, debauchery, the Holocaust. And with Farrakhan only reading the first part of the Abrahamic covenant, where we would be strangers in the land for 400 years, and not reading the bottom half, he is ripping up our covenant. He's stumping all over it. And He's making mockery out of the sacrifice that we made. It wasn't easy. We have been working our butt off for 500 years. And so understand that him being a hypocrite, sitting in Elijah's seat, misleading our people for 42 years. Our people don't know their right hand from their left hand. Him claiming that he's the one and he has the answers, and he's lying. He's not giving any type of guidance as to what's going on. He's using the messenger's name as a soundbite to get more followers and people in. As soon as you get in there, he's got you on your hands and knees praying 5 times a day with Sunnis, our enemies. And he had no business stepping foot into the Nation of Islam from day one. He's an entertainer. He's a performer. He's in bed with all kind of demon entertainers. And he's boastful about it. And he's cocky. And the whole thing is, nobody put a gun to his head and told him to come into the NOI. Nobody asked him to pretend that he's down with the message to the black man. He did all that on his own. He wanted fame. He wanted attention. He wanted to be on a big platform. He should have just stayed right there in them nightclubs performing for them devils. And so that's why Farrakhan is under so much heat. And he's going through his judgment right now. He has been disemboweled. That's a direct chastisement from Allah to show that he's a hypocrite. The second will be public humiliation, when the whole world will realize that he is a big lying, fraud, hypocrite, demon. And the third chastisement will be death. He had no business standing in the NOI pretending to be an FOI. He had no business getting involved with the messenger at all, period. However, we understand that that's what the demons do. They camouflage themselves in. And as soon as the messenger left, he pulled off his mask. He showed his true colors. He got rid of all the assets. He got rid of all of our businesses, schools, banks, and put everything in his pocket. And has been begging for money for the past 42 years for some economic program. Once the 42 years came, then he said he's not building anything but the mind. And then he switched that and said, now it's time to start building a nation again. Then he put the females of the NOI on the front line, saying that they're responsible for fighting this battle. He's a fraud. He's a fake Levite. He's a devil in black skin. And so we're going to look at the lessons. What does the lessons share with us? He claims that he's following the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching to us. And this came from Master Farad Muhammad. This is from the Supreme Lessons. This is the first term examination assignment. What is a devil? Answer: a grafted man, which is made weak and wicked, or any grafted live germ from the original, is a devil. And can you reform a devil? No. All the prophets have tried to reform him, devil, but were unable. So they have agreed that it cannot be done unless we graft him back to the original man, which takes 600 years. So instead of losing time grafting him back, they have decided to take him off the planet, who numbers only 1 to every 11 original people. The lessons clearly define who the devil is. The devil was grafted from the original man. This is a process that took 600 years. The lessons explains this, in which we separated the brown germ from the black germ. The brown germ is the weaker germ. Once that brown germ is isolated, we kept grafting that germ down. It got weaker and weaker, and it turned into a white germ. So let me see if I can explain this. You got the black and the brown germ. Okay, the brown germ is weaker, so it'd be under the black germ. And the brown germ was grafted all the way down until it turned white. They are a less complex being. We are complex beings. They are very simple beings. This is why they thrive so well at the time of energy deprivation. As the energy is returning back to the planet, they cannot withstand the pressure. However, from what I'm explaining, we're up here and these devils are down here, just based off of science. You cannot reform something that's already at this lowest, weakest version of itself. And it would take 600 years to graft that white germ up into a brown germ, and that would take way too long. We don't have that kind of time. We have decided to destroy these devils. Okay, and their black-faced children, the demons, because they have the same nature as their devil fathers. Understand that you are the seed of your father. If your father is original man, doesn't matter what your mother is, that makes you original. If your father is a devil, it does not matter what your mother is, that makes you a demon. A demon means devil man. It's not no spook or spirit. It's not anything mystical. Okay, religion tells you that all these things are spooks and spirits to keep you from identifying these devils and demons for who they are. Now, the lessons clearly defines who these devils are. We don't mix with them. They're not allowed in the temples. And we had no fear to tell them to their face that they are devils and that we don't want nothing to do with them and that we're going home. And so, the problem book. Okay, this is also part of the lessons, and I have the link for the lessons posted up under this video. The planet Earth has a population of 4,800 million people. 4,400 million are the original nation, and 400 million are the Caucasian civilization. They have been found absolutely disagreeable to live with in peace, so the originator decides to remove them from the planet. Brothers and sisters, understand that these devils' time period is up. They were given a 6,000 year time period to rule. They had 500 years with us personally. That time period is over. Not only that, they must be destroyed. We cannot live with them in peace. Their time period, they come with an expiration date. Okay, just like you buy a product from the store, you will look at the expiration date. You don't mess with it afterwards. You're taking your chances at that point. We don't want to take any chances. We don't have time to deal with these devils. We've been dealing with them for 6,000 years. It's time to move on to our next phase in building our paradise and getting our creation back intact. And so, their time is up. Farrakhan's time is up. He's a devil. And they're doing everything they can to cling on. One of their last tactics is to cling on to us by having us wasting our energy, so to say. Have us at a self-imposed energy deprivation where we're taking all of our energy and putting it into this American dream, putting it into religion, putting into their entertainment, sports, have us living our whole life trying to be some type of entertainer or the next athlete. And they only can survive while we are at an energy deprivation. With the conception of the Christ, Master Suleiman, and the Antichrist in false Israel in 1948, that signaled a time that the energy deprivation period was over. We have been receiving energy in waves every 50 years. We're due for another energy wave any day now. These devils can only survive when we are at an energy deprivation. Since energy is returning, we're not at an energy deprivation, so to say. However, because you don't have any wisdom, you don't have knowledge of self, brothers and sisters, you don't have your God mind back, which is the angel. We are mathematical beings. We think mathematically. However, since you don't understand this, you're at a self-imposed energy deprivation. You are trying to climb this ladder of the American dream. You are deep off into these religions, and none of this mess can be proven. All it is a bunch of rituals. And they have us working against ourselves. They have us at a self-imposed energy deprivation, so they are still surviving. The same energy that we are putting into this reality, this false vision, is the same energy that we're going to have to use to build our paradise. Same energy, same effort. With them manipulating us and using our energy, they are still surviving. Their time period is over. And so, Farrakhan is only surviving as long as you can't identify who he is. As long as you are entertaining Farrakhan and buying his lies and allowing him to seduce you with all of his trinkets and his watches and his jewelry and his fake smile and his makeup on and his lipstick and his dresses and shoes. And what we need to understand, brothers and sisters, is that Farrakhan is a demon. Yes, he's a demon, and he is a magnet for demons. So he don't realize that he has done us a favor and have made our job a little bit easier by attracting quite a few demons to the NOI. Just like if it's a pile of feces on the ground, it's attracting all the flies. And that's what Farrakhan is. He's a pile of feces attracting those who like feces, all the demons. And here in a couple of days, Farrakhan will be casted out of the NOI. Master Suleiman will be cleaning up the NOI, and the NOI will be your place of safety or refuge, brothers and sisters. You're going to be looking to the NOI for guidance. A lot of you are looking to the NOI now for guidance. You're not getting any answers because he doesn't have any answers. He cannot see what's going on. He cannot speak to what's happening right now. All these things going on in the world. Threat of nuclear war. We know that the war in the Middle East is reaching a boiling point. Our God, Master Farrakhan Muhammad, Iran and Syria is going to make the first move against the dragon, the House of Saud, false Israel, America, and Britain. Master Farrakhan Muhammad, Iran and Syria is called Michael and his angels. Michael and his angels will overcome the dragon and his angels. The House of Saud getting put out first, America and Britain. America and Britain are the military power for false Israel. Remember, I just explained how America and Britain put false Israel into place in 1948 to counteract the truth that we are the true seed of Abraham. They put the most hated of their kind, European, German, false Jews over there, saying that the couple of years of the Holocaust is the reason why they get to take our reward. So they're over there taking our inheritance, the House of Saud, the Ishmaelites, fake Arabs, supposed to be our brothers, supposed to be protecting our land, have tried to take it as their own. Okay, and have tried to trick us out of our reward by teaming up with Farrakhan and having those in the NOI worshiping Sunniism, which is the golden calf. And so that you accept the Sunniism, that means your part in the Abrahamic covenant is null and void. You have no part in the covenant. Which means that they still get to sit on our land. And they're running off into the sunset with our reward. There's no place in the Abrahamic covenant for Farrakhan. There's no place in the Abrahamic covenant for any demons or devils. Farrakhan knows that. And so, here in a couple of days, America and Britain get put out the Middle East. They're the military power for false Israel. False Israel is the size of a dot compared to the rest of the Middle East, compared to our brothers Iran and Syria. They cannot win a ground war. That's why they think they're so big and bad with all their sky power. They have missiles and bombs and their jets, and they think that they're the big ones in charge. They think that they're running things. Master Fraud Muhammad has our technical marvel, our wills. The devils call it UFOs. There's nothing unidentified about our wills. We know exactly what they are. Master Farad Muhammad is our sky security. He's going to ensure that they can't nuke up our home. He will be dismantling all of their nuclear weapons, their military jets and whatnot. And America and Britain are going to be lying to you, brothers and sisters, about how it is that they got put out the Middle East. Now, you look up these wills. These devils are already admitting that our wills are hovering over their military bases, cutting out their nuclear power. And they're scared. Master Farad Muhammad is responsible for the sky security. Master Suleiman is leading the ground army. He is the one who's leading us home. That's what Exodus tells us. That's what Joshua would do. He came to the camp. Moses had already had departed, which is Elijah Muhammad. Aaron sat in Moses' seat, misled the people, Moses' followers, for 42 years, had them wandering around in the wilderness. And Joshua was the one to come and discover this hypocrisy. Joshua was the one to discover Moses' followers worshiping the golden calf. Moses returned with Joshua and was angry. And the Levites within the NOI, the brothers and sisters that are original, got the opportunity to redeem themselves by casting the demons out of the NOI, and then the Levites had to go through tribulations and do the duty that they were supposed to do of building that bridge between Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Suleiman, in which the Levites were to help gather the rest of our people who were still asleep. Not only that, the Levites still have to gain their God mind back by uploading the angel. Also have to learn the 5 fundamental mathematical pillars of Islam, which is our shield. Do you understand that there's a food shortage going on right now? As Master Suleiman has been explaining, you don't see it because you're still getting food out of their warehouses and whatnot. What happens when it's time to restock up these warehouses? They don't have any gas. They don't have any oil. Their oil pipeline will be cut off as soon as they're kicked out the Middle East. Understand that America and Britain has been working with the House of Saud and allowing those Sunnis to sit in our land because they have been guaranteeing America and Britain a oil pipeline. It's a guaranteed oil pipeline by keeping our enemies on our land because they're working hand in hand with the Europeans. With Master Fraud Muhammad kicking the dragon, the House of Assad, America and Britain out the Middle East first, that cuts out all of their oil. Biden done already sold the oil reserves that the U.S. had, so what's about to happen? They're at a full-fledged war because as soon as they get kicked out the Middle East, they are going into the war Armageddon. It's a race war. It is the European nations fighting against each other. They're also going to be attacking all blacks. All right. The U.S. Constitution, they already have black people as 3/5 of a human, which makes, according to U.S. Constitution, that would make us animals. And there's no law against eating animals. So there's a food shortage going on. They have no way of cleaning water. For one, it takes oil to do all of these things. They have sat here and built a whole industrialized complex, this industrialized plantation. They thought they was doing something so smart. What's the blood of an industrialized complex? The blood of it is oil. You need oil in order to work all these machines. And with them having an energy crisis, electricity, electric shortage, how are they going to be able to clean water? We already know that if it's a choice between us getting food and clean water and them getting food and clean water, it's automatically going to them. And these devils will be looking at us for their next meal. They have a long history of cannibalism. They're beasts. This is what they do. They have been eating us for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, and now you can go look at a horror movie and get some type of idea what they were doing to us. Back then, they didn't have any television and radio and all of that. They were living out their sick, twisted, sadistic fantasies on us. All the things that you can imagine and you can't imagine, brothers and sisters, they were doing to us. Okay, and there's this book called The Delectable Negro, and they explain in vivid detail how cannibalism was their main form of torture. Their main form of scaring the life out of us. Cutting off our ears and our fingers, and they would force us to eat each other's limbs as a method of punishment and to instill fear into us. And so the whole thing about it is, what's going to stop them from trying to eat us, attacking us, when they don't have any food? And they're going to be at war. They can't fight without eating. And would it be in a food shortage, or what are they going to be eating? And then we already classified as animals according to the law of the U.S. Constitution. So technically what they would be doing wouldn't be illegal. They set all this stuff into place. Farrakhan is saying that we need to get reparations in 6 states. That's a bunch of hogwash. He knows that's a big old lie. They did reparations before. They came and took it back 6 months later. Put our behinds right back on the plantation. Anytime we tried to build a little city or town and have for ourselves, they came and completely wiped us out. Bloodbath. We had our own piece of paradise within the Nation of Islam. Farrakhan came and tore that all up. 6 states would be nothing more than 6 prison cells, where now they have all of us in the specific areas where they know where to come get us or cut us off from resources and things that we would need to sustain ourselves. And so it's a big old lie. And why would we want to stay on the land of our imprisonment? Why would we want to be here with our oppressors and tormentors? How is America going to be judged if we're still here? That means we would be going through the judgment with them. Why would we want to go through the Holocaust twice? These are all kinds of questions that you need to start asking, brothers and sisters. You have to wake up and start looking around you and asking questions. Turn on the light. Here in a couple of days, Master Farad Muhammad is going to strike fear into your hearts. When America and Britain get kicked out the Middle East, false Israel goes under siege and is destroyed, these devils are going to automatically attack us. They're envious. They're jealous. All this time they thought that they were God's people. They've been lying to themselves for so long they start to believe the lie. They thought that their blonde hair, pale skin, and blue eyes was some type of angelic, angel-like, holy being, and it's a bunch of BS. And they try to put these devil women on TV and tell us that we need to be like them. The demons are the ones shoving this mess down our throat. If they're angels, they would have done angelic things to us. They would have been sweet, kind, loving. They're none of that. None of it. They have been found absolutely disagreeable to live with in peace. So the originator decides to remove them from the planet. Why would we want to be here in America during the time period while they're being removed off the planet? We only came over here for a certain time frame. We did our job. It's time to go home. When you're on the job, when you're on the plantation right now in industrial slavery, and you put in your 8 hours, 10, 12 hours for the day, you go home. You don't stay there on the plantation. Because in a certain sense, we are, even our homes, we're on the plantation. We got to pay taxes. We have to register these vehicles and whatnot. We can't drive them without their permission. We got to pay for lights, water, and everything that naturally comes from the earth. And so we are on the plantation as long as we are here in America. However, for this example I'm making is when you go to work, after you clock out for the day, you go home. You don't stay there on the job. When you do your prison sentence, you leave the prison. Your first order of business is getting cleaned up, getting rid of everything that reminded you of that disgusting, nasty prison cell. We did our 400 years. We did more than that. We gave them a 64-year grace period. We've been here for damn near 500 years. We are homesick. And we're not free as long as we are here in America. These devils refuse to let us go because they know that we are their wealth. We are their creativity. We are the ones coming up with all these new ideas. They add their technical touch. All of a sudden, all these innovations are coming out of America. Why? Because we're here. The Abrahamic covenant says we will go out with great wealth. That means we are the wealth. We would leave out with great substance. We are the great substance. It's us. And so, this is Farrakhan out of his own mouth, admitting that he is a hypocrite by what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying.
Sir.
Yeah, Minister Farrakhan.
Yes.
Dr. King dreamed of the day that children will be recognized by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Do you see a day when whites will be allowed to join the black Muslims?
Yes. Yes. There, I must say this. Some of my own brothers may be shocked at this, but you asked me a question, and I have to answer you truthfully. If you look at the message of Jesus, it started first very narrowly among the lost sheep. And Jesus was told, go ye not in the way of the Samaritans or in the way of the Gentiles, but to the lost sheep. And then at a certain point he said, go ye into all the world, to every nation, kindred, and tongue. If you will look at the message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it first was directed to black people because we were in the worst condition. But not only are we lost, the whole human family is lost, and therefore, therefore the message has to evolve, and we have to evolve. And I'll close that point by saying, in Christ, there is no Greek, no Jew, no bond, no free, no male, no female. This means that we all are going to have to grow out of rabid nationalism, sexism, racism, materialism in order to claim Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior.
There you have it, brothers and sisters. Farrakhan is saying that the message first started off for us, original brothers and sisters, and then it was supposed to go out to all these other nations. That's a lie. He's saying that whites will be allowed within the NOI. Devils will be allowed into the NOI. It's a lie. That's not what we stand for. That's not what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught. And the whole reason why Farrakhan is doing this is because he's a devil himself. He's a devil man. His father, Percival Clark, raped his mother, a black woman. He don't recognize the struggles that us original sisters have been through. He does not respect us at all. He knows that his father is a devil. That's why he keeps coming up with all this BS about your God or Allah made you in the womb, not your mother and father. That's to get around the fact that he is a demon. He is the seed of a devil. And the whole thing about it, brothers and sisters, is that we procreate, we create, and we make our children. This is all throughout nature. Animals, insects, there's no getting around it. He's saying that God makes babies in the womb. Well, how does that account for the babies that don't make it, the stillbirths, the miscarriages, the babies that have deformities and mental issues? How is that accounted for if God was the one who's doing it? That don't make any sense. That means that God didn't care, or he was sleeping on a job, and that it's a lie. That's why you have to upload your God mind, brothers and sisters, so you can get back to thinking mathematically. You'll be able to see right through a lot of this BS. All of it is lies. Because that's not mathematical at all. No science supports anything that he's saying. Just like these devils say, one drop of black blood makes you black. Again, they know that we're not thinking mathematically. We'll just accept anything. That's why you have to return your God mind, brothers and sisters. You are the seed of your father. That one drop of black blood makes you black. It ain't nothing but a racist statement. And they're just further letting us know how much they hate all black people. Even their own children, the demons. So they told on themselves with that one right there. Because what does it take to make you Caucasian? If it's just one drop of black blood makes you black, and if your father's Caucasian, that makes you a demon. You might be in black skin, however, you are not original. You're a Caucasian. And so, brothers and sisters, the truth is right in front of your face. I'm not here to convince you or persuade you. I'm giving you the facts. You have to go do your own research and make your own decision. I'm not begging you to come home, brothers and sisters. Farrakhan. All right, hugged up, kissed up on his swine daddies. He is one of them. You would never catch the messenger hugged up or in pictures with any of these devils. These are his people. He is their people. He is their brother, not ours. You looking to Farrakhan for guidance, you done already lost. And some of you are listening to this presentation saying, I'm not with Farrakhan. She ain't talking about me. I'm good. No, you're not off the hook either. A lot of you are time anchors. You Levites have stood by and watched as this, what's the proper word? You Levites have stood by and watched as Farrakhan why he has defecated over all of our hard work, over the teachings, the supreme lessons. And a lot of you Levites have separated into different little subgroups. Eric Muhammad, Silas, Royal Camp. Some of you with Farrakhan. And you're not with Farrakhan, you're in just as much trouble because you're a hypocrite. The messenger said, a lot of you out here talking about that you represent the messenger. The messenger said one would come after him. You and I have agreed that it's not Farrakhan, so who is it? You cannot recognize the Son of Man here on the scene, Master Suleiman. Therefore, you are a hypocrite. You don't represent the messenger. You're not sticking to the messenger's teachings. The messenger never called himself a Messiah. He told you that he is a messenger with a message, and that's it. And so you looking at this thinking that, oh, I'm not with Farrakhan, I'm off the hook. You're not. Because you have blood on your hands of our people who have been misled, who could have gotten the truth from you, because you all know the truth. And you know that it will be one to come after the messenger that would lead us home. And you Levites have stood by and watched as all of our hard work is trampled over, tarnished, compromised. You Levites have compromised the truth for a cult. You compromised the truth so you could be close within these different subgroups with different people. For what? A lot of young people my age who have not come in contact with the messenger have no clue what's going on until Master Suleiman came along and returned our sight back to us. You all were supposed to be the bridge between us young people. You're supposed to be the bridge between Master Solomon and Honorable Elijah Muhammad for young people like me who had no clue what was going on. We have so many of our people who will be lost and are lost for the lack of knowledge. And this is directly fallen on you Levites. And so you will have to go through tribulations. All right, and you're going to gain your God mind, and you're going to learn how to use the 5 fundamental mathematical pillars as your shield so that you can get through tribulations in one piece. These devils are going to be attacking us, trying to eat us alive. No food, no water. How are you going to make it through? Some of you are up in age, have not been taking care of yourself. Your hearts are weak. The 5 fundamental mathematical pillars of Islam is how you're going to regain your strength, your discipline. Okay, and sisters, you have done a wonderful duty. You have been on post since day one. And we had to carry this nation on our backs. We had to keep our original nation afloat. However, you still have to step up to claim your reward. Master Suleiman has been very generous with us because we have been very generous towards our original nation. We had to sneak and procreate. We had to sneak and nourish our babies. We were not allowed to do neither one. And because we have been generous and we have worked overtime for our nation, Master Suleiman has been very generous with us and giving us a helping hand up. Okay, and fighting for us, rooting for us, recognizing us. However, sisters, you still have to step up to claim your reward. In order for us to be given a helping hand, we have to be present. And so, brothers and sisters, the abomination of desolation, days away. Look over in the Middle East. It's heating up. It's reaching its boiling point. Just as Master Solomon has been warning us for years. The injured warriors, we have been on post for at least 2 years now. Letting you know what's going to happen before it happens. You have all these distractions in front of you, which will be snuffed out here in a couple of days. Because once false Israel gets kicked out, that NFL don't matter no more. That latest celebrity gossip don't matter no more. That alcohol don't matter no more. That intoxicants, crack, cigarettes, weed, whatever you on, all of that don't matter anymore. Because now you're going to be in survival mode. You're coming up out the heart zone into the mind zone. That vacation you was planning, that Thanksgiving family gathering you was planning, at Christmas you was planning, all that is out the window. Brothers and sisters, I will be back with more. The abomination of desolation is days away. Our God, Master Farrakhan Muhammad, is making the first move, and we are prepared. I will be back with more. Thank you for having me. Assalamu alaikum.